Hello and welcome back to DocTrack Training. With this lesson, we'll go over the attachment controls in DocTrack Flex. Previously, we looked at DocTrack Flex from the perspective of someone who doesn't need to make their own attachments with it. For those folks, most of the controls in DocTrack Flex were disabled. Then we saw how this control might be enabled for people like Claire Summers, so she could use it to make an attachment with a DocTrack document saving rule. Even so, the rest of the controls were still disabled for her too. But if your version of DocTrack Flex looks more like this, then it's likely you're allowed to have direct access to the files in your DocTrack archive. Also, you'll possibly be able to make manual attachments through DocTrack Flex. If you're in this group, then you'll find a lot more controls available to you that would be disabled for others. In this lesson, we'll focus on the ones that you'll find with each attachment. When we covered DocTrack document saving rules, we looked at the attachments to this customer order. But now I'm logged in as Peter Simmons, who is an advanced DocTrack user. These three controls were disabled before, but they're available to Pete. Let's maximize DocTrack Flex to get a better look. The first one is the Explore control. When you select it, the folder location for the attached file will be displayed in Windows File Explorer. You can see that customer purchase order and the order verification report are in the same folder. From here, Pete can perform any task that he's allowed in the company's file system. The next control is Print. You can select this to quickly print a hard copy of the attached file. The third control is Edit. When you select it, the Edit screen displays with options on things you can change about this attachment. You can change the description, mark the file as obsolete, and change the bundle options. Now, why would you ever want to do that? Well, think back to when Claire used the document saving rule to drag and drop the entire email for the customer purchase order. By doing that, she generated an MSG file. And the rule she used automatically sets that to bundle with the report. You'll recall that it's important you do not try to bundle a file like that with a report in DocTrack. If it's not a PDF, text file, or a picture file, then you'll probably get an error and it's going to fail. However, we do have this other bundle option called Email. When you select that one, the attachment will not be bundled with the report, but if the report is set up to email automatically through DocTrack, the file will be included in that email as a separate attachment. Another thing you can do in this window is change the file for this attachment. You can use the Browse button to search for a different file, or just change the file name manually here in this field. Now be extra careful when you do this. If you type it incorrectly, you can end up with what we call an orphan attachment. That's an attachment made through DocTrack that's no longer valid. Typically, this happens when someone deletes, renames, or moves a file referenced by the attachment. For example, when I select the customer mountain bike sketch, it doesn't appear in the viewer. And if I try to open it, I get this message telling me that the file doesn't exist. To see more information about this attachment, I'll select this little arrow. In addition to showing me the various bundle options, I can also see the full path and file name of the attachment. Now I'm going to navigate to this folder. And check this file out. Apparently, after the file was attached, someone who had access to this folder changed the file name. I'm sure they thought they were being helpful. But now the file referenced in the attachment no longer exists. It's because of this that many companies set up their archive so that only a limited number of people will be able to add, edit, or delete files in the DocTrack archive from Windows. So if you have these controls enabled, you'll want to be aware of this potential problem and possibly how to fix it. One way would be to change the file name back to the original name. But in this case, I'll select the Edit button, then Browse, select the newly named file, and save it. Now, when I select the attachment, it displays in the viewer, and I can open it. All right, that covers the attachment controls. On our next lesson, let's look at the toolbar controls. See you then.